Okay, let's kick things off. This whole idea that some people are just, born amazing in bed. Like they get handed the Earl of Eroticism title at birth.
Right. It's a common myth, isn't it? But this book we're looking at today, Sexpertise Secrets of Total Satisfaction from way back in '98, actually, it really argues against that.
Yeah, it says mastery, especially in something this personal, is learned, it's cultivated. And that's exactly what we want to dive deep into today for everyone listening.
And what's interesting is their whole angle wasn't about some secret trick, but really about knowledge. Men's health books explicitly stated they wanted to boost understanding of sexuality, help people make informed choices.
Good point. And they also added that crucial disclaimer, this stuff is great, but it doesn't replace actual medical advice if you need it.
Always sensible.
Definitely. So think of this as your fast track, your graduate level course, like they jokingly call it, going beyond Sex Ed 101.
We're aiming to pull out the really practical, usable nuggets from this guide.
Exactly. We'll cover getting your body ready, the whole love muscle training thing, the art of seduction, foreplay, hot
Yeah,
spots.
the mechanics, different positions, kissing,
Yeah.
communication. It's a huge etiquette.
And even some like surprising little details that can apparently make a difference. Ready to get into it.
Let's do it. Starting with prepping the body seems logical.
Okay, so priming the body. Where did they begin?
Well, they start broad, saying general fitness and healthy eating are obviously the foundation. Can't argue with that.
Sure, the basics.
But then they zoom in on this love muscle training concept. Specific exercises for, well, specific benefits during intimacy.
Right, not just lifting weights, but working the muscles you actually use. They start with something called cramp-proof calves. Is that really a common thing? Calf cramps?
Apparently so. For some guys, especially during intense moments like orgasm, Dr. Eric Gronbeck, a physical ed professor they quote, actually asks readers if they've ever had that happen.
Huh, okay. So what's the fix?
It's more about flexibility than raw strength in the legs for this issue. They suggest a couple of simple stretches.
Like,
The standard runner's stretch against a wall, one leg forward, one back, heel down. Hold for 20 seconds, switch sides.
easy enough.
And another one you can do in bed. Lie on your back, one knee bent, flex the other foot, pointing your toes towards your chest. Hold, relax, repeat.
Okay, pretty straightforward calf stretches. It's about preventing those sudden, awkward interruptions, I guess.
Exactly. Even minor discomfort can throw things off.
Yeah.
It shows a level of body awareness.
Makes sense. Then they move to high-performance hip and groin. That feels more central, right? Hips are key.
Absolutely. They call it the pivot point for thrusting. So flexibility here is crucial. They recommend the butterfly stretch.
Oh, yeah, I know that one. Lying on your back, soles of the feet together, let the knees fall outwards.
Yeah, that's the one. Bring your heels towards your buttocks, hold for about 10 counts, really opens up the hips.
And there's another one.
A hip stretch where you lie on your back, legs dangling off the bed edge. You pull one knee gently toward your chest, hold for 10, then switch legs.
Gotcha. Targeting those muscles needed for movement and, well, range of motion.
Precisely. Comfort and effectiveness.
Okay, moving up. Ship-shaped shoulders. Really? Shoulders.
I know, it sounds a bit random, but Dr. Grombeck points out that in certain positions, like missionary, the guy often supports weight on his elbows.
Ah, okay. Which can strain the shoulders. I see.
Yeah, even if you're not the one doing all the moving, there's still stress. The stretch is simple, though.
How's it go?
Sit up straight, arms overhead, cross your wrists, inhale, and straighten your arms, trying to get your elbows behind your ears. Hold for 10 seconds, relax, repeat.
Okay. Building a picture here of whole body readiness. What about the back? Back bracers.
Yeah, this is a big one. Mitch Bogniffy from the Texas Back Institute makes a really interesting point, which is that muscle spasms during sex aren't that unusual. He says your back muscles don't necessarily know the difference between love-making movements and just hard physical work.
That's a great analogy. So it can be strenuous even if it feels good.
Exactly. So he suggests a warm bath or shower beforehand to relax the muscles, increase blood flow.
Good tip. What about ongoing back pain?
For issues like compressed discs, they suggest elevating your legs for 10-15 minutes before sex to take pressure off the sciatic nerve.
Then position-wise.
Woman on top or side-to-side positions are generally recommended as being easier on the back.
And a quick stretch.
Just lying on your back, gently pulling your knees to your chest. Simple, but effective.
So it's really about being physically prepared, limber, and having the stamina, which leads nicely into the next bit, right? Braveheart.
Yeah, stamina. Because, as they point out, unlike sports, there are generally no timeouts in sex.
True. So building endurance is key. What do they recommend?
Low-impact aerobic exercises are the go-to.
Hmm.
Swimming, stair climbing, rowing, running, things that get your heart rate up without pounding your joints too much.
And does it actually make a difference?
Oh yeah. They cite that University of California studied middle-aged men who started a consistent aerobic program.
What were the results again?
Pretty impressive. A 30% increase in intercourse frequency, 26% more orgasms, and even a 50% rise in masturbation.
Wow. Okay, cardio is definitely good for your sex life then. Any downsides?
Well, they do include a warning about cycling.
Tickling, how so?
Potential compression of the pudendal nerves. Those are the nerves crucial for sensation down there. Prolonged pressure from a bike seat, especially if it's not positioned right, can lead to numbness or even, in some cases, impotence.
Yikes. Okay, so what can cyclists do?
Adjust the seat position level or slightly inclined. Check the height. Maybe consider a wider saddle or one of those anatomical ones with cutouts to relieve pressure. Just being mindful.
Right, makes sense. Okay, body stretched, stamina built. What about fuel? You are what you eat or drink.
Yeah, they connect diet directly to performance. The plumbing of love, they call it.
Plumbing, meaning.
Basically, watch the high fat and cholesterol stuff like too many egg yolks. Anything that clogs your regular arteries can potentially hinder blood flow to the genitals too.
Ah, circulation issues affecting erections or sensation. Got it.
It's that fundamental link.
Mm-hmm.
Overall health impacts sexual health.
Yeah.
Then they get to specific things, like coffee.
Okay, what's the verdict on coffee? Good or bad?
Well, there was research showing caffeine could make sperm swim faster,
Really?
but it was in lab settings with high concentrations directly applied. So probably not much practical effect on your love life from drinking it, though interesting for IVF maybe. Moderation, a cup or two is fine.
Good to know. What about alcohol?
The greatest performance squelcher, they call it,
Mm-hmm.
especially after 2 or 3 drinks. If you're too impaired to drive, you're likely too impaired for peak performance.
So maybe one glass to relax, but that's it.
Pretty much. They warn against getting anywhere near feeling anesthetized,
Mm-hmm.
kills the mood and function.
Okay. What about big meals before sex? I've heard that's not ideal.
Definitely not. They even reference an old text, The Perfumed Garden, warning about ruptured intestines.
Whoa. Seriously?
They admit there's no science for that, but the practical advice holds. Avoid feasting right before sex. You'll get sleepy as blood goes to digestion, and long-term, it leads to love handles.
Less dramatic, but still good reasons to avoid it. What about specific foods? Any surprises?
One really weird one. The smell of cinnamon buns.
Get out. Cinnamon bun.
Apparently, neurologists found the aroma increased penile blood flow in male medical students.
That's wild. So eat cinnamon buns before a date.
No, don't eat the whole batch. Then the blood rushes to your stomach and you'll just want a nap. They suggest just enjoying the fragrance or maybe a tiny bite.
Okay, noted. Smell, not consumption. What else?
Smoking gets a big warning. Major factor in erectile dysfunction, potentially starting by age 40.
Why is it so bad?
Nicotine is a vasoconstrictor. It narrows blood vessels, hindering blood flow to the penis. Simple as that. Quitting is key for sexual health.
Clear message there. And lastly,
Sleep, or rather, lack of it. Fatigue is a huge roadblock.
makes sense. Too tired for anything.
Right. They suggest maybe rethinking the routine of always having sex right before sleep when you're most drained. Try morning sex instead.
When you're rested.
Exactly. They even have a funny suggestion for parents. Get a sitter for early Saturday morning for some uninterrupted time.
I like their thinking. Okay, body's prepped, fueled, but how do you know if the other person is even interested? Next section. Is she really interested? Reading the signs.
Yeah, this moves into that crucial nonverbal communication piece. Starts with eye contact.
What's the rule there?
Normal conversations, maybe 60% eye contact. If it's significantly more sustained than that, it could indicate interest.
Good. Okay, what else? Smiling.
A genuine full smile is good. Watch out for the polite, just upper teak smile that might mean discomfort.
Body language.
Subtle shifts, leaning in slightly, maybe a gentle hip roll while talking. Those could be positive signs. Tilting the head, softer voice tone too.
And giggling versus laughing.
Yeah, light giggling can be charming. A loud, booming laugh might put you more in the friend zone.
Flushed face. Good sign.
Can be, yeah. Increased blood flow. But they add a funny caution. Dilated pupils can also mean hunger. So make sure it's you, not the thought of dinner.
Huh. Good point. What about touching?
A light touch on the arm, shoulder, maybe adjusting your tie. Those can be flirtatious.
And if she touches herself, like hair or jewelry?
That's often seen as a positive signal too. Flipping hair, adjusting clothes, even a subtle touch on her own breast or thigh, drawing attention.
Okay, so there's a whole silent language happening. Assuming the signals are good, we move to advanced classes in the art of seduction, starting with fantastic foreplay.
Right, and they challenge the idea of foreplay being just a warm-up. Some experts even call it non-coital sex.
Meaning it's enjoyable and satisfying on its own, not just a prelude.
Exactly. Takes the pressure off intercourse being the only goal.
Hmm.
They even quote the Ananga Ranga, that ancient Indian text.
What does it say?
Basically, even royalty knew foreplay was essential. And it gives a practical tip, too, the artificial elephant trunk.
The what now?
It's a finger technique bringing the first 3 fingers together for stimulation.
Huh, okay. How important is foreplay, really?
Hugely important, especially for women's orgasm. They cite a study of nurses where lack of partner time on foreplay was the top complaint hindering orgasm.
How much time is ideal?
Research based on Kinsey's data suggested women preferred around 17 minutes on average, and orgasm rates went way up when foreplay lasted 21 minutes or more.
So patience pays off.
Definitely. They use that great analogy from Dr. Jude Cotter. Male arousal is often like a light switch, quick on, quick off. Female arousal is more like an iron takes longer to heat up, longer to cool down.
Foreplay bridges that gap.
Precisely. Women often need more foreplay because orgasm through intercourse alone can be harder to achieve for many. Pay attention to her breathing. Go slow, even if she seems ready.
And it's not just about the minutes right before sex.
No. They emphasize making it an all-day thing. Masters and Johnson said, good sex begins with your clothes on.
So everyday interactions count.
Dr. Cotter thinks so. Making her a sandwich, telling a joke, a hug for women, that stuff can be part of foreplay, building connection.
That broadens the definition quite a bit. Any other key tips?
Ask what feels good. Don't assume based on your own preferences or, porn. And set the mood candlelight, removing distractions like reading glasses. Little things matter.
Okay, anticipation built. Time to focus. His and her hotspots. Where do you start?
They emphasize using all senses, and that even the lightest touch can be super erotic. They start with her body.
And the first advice is?
Ask her. Encourage her to guide you. But they do give a quick tour, naming the parts. Anus, vagina, labia, urethra, clitoris, clitoral hood.
Good anatomical baseline. Then the clitoris.
Huge focus here. Incredible sensitivity, needs varied touch. Gentle teasing, often better than firm pressure.
Any specific techniques?
They suggest playfully tracing the alphabet with your tongue, apparently works wonders for some, and the oyster technique.
Which is?
Rhythmic sucking and releasing with the mouth. Maybe alternating with tongue flicks on the clitoris and licking the labia.
Sounds intense.
Can be. And importantly, ask if she sometimes prefers to stimulate herself. Don't assume.
Good point. And that shrinking thing before orgasm?
Yeah, they clarify that's normal. The clitoral hood engorges, making the clitoris itself seem to retract slightly. That's actually a sign of high arousal.
Okay. What about the labia?
The labia minora, the inner lips, are highly sensitive, according to Kinsey, almost as important as the clitoris for many women. The outer lips, labia majora, less so.
And the vaginal entrance.
The vestibule, the first inch or so, is definitely a pleasure zone. Lots of nerve endings. Deeper inside might feel less sensitive to light touch.
Then the famous G spot.
Right. Usually described as a few inches inside, on the upper wall towards the belly button. Feels a bit ribbed. Needs firm pressure.
And that feeling of needing to pee.
Can happen initially, yeah. But the key is communication. If it doesn't feel good, stop or change approach. And everyone finds it pleasurable.
Right, no pressure. What about breasts and nipples?
Mixed reviews, actually. Partners often like stimulating them more than women report enjoying it, like 90%, 50 is 50% in one study.
Right.
Sensitivity varies with the cycle, too. So,
Okay.
again,
Ask. Got it. What about unexpected spots?
fingers and toes,
Mm.
often overlooked. Gentle nibbling, sucking, stroking.
Really? Okay. Anywhere else?
Back of the knee, base of the spine, Bermuda Triangle of lust, they joke. Nape of the neck, earlobes, stroking, warm breath, inner thigh, armpits, anus, navel. Basically explore everywhere.
It's a whole landscape. They even mention acupoints.
Yeah, from Chinese texts, the cinnabar field from navel to pubic bone, points where thighs meet the abdomen, the perineum, earlobes, reinforces that pleasure zones are everywhere.
Okay, shifting to his body. What's the approach there?
They start with a quick anatomy reminder, the penis's structure, but emphasize the brain is the main driver for erections.
And things that interfere.
Distraction, irritation, stress, boredom, relationship issues, all the mental stuff. Occasional problems are normal, but see a doctor if it's persistent.
And the perennial question, Size.
They tackle it directly. Average is about 5 and 38 inches erect. And crucially, most women don't really care that much about size. Skill and connection matter more.
Good message. What are his hot spots?
The frenulum, that band of skin on the underside of the head, is often the most sensitive spot. Also, the rim of the glans, coronal ridge, the shaft itself, and the scrotum. Encourage partners to pay attention there.
Testicles, too.
Yep. Gentle massage can apparently boost sexual energy, maybe even testosterone. They describe rolling them gently, a light pulling sensation while tightening pelvic muscles.
Interesting. What about the chest?
Many men enjoy nipple and chest stimulation, surprisingly similar to women sometimes. Kinsey reported male nipple sensitivity too.
And the male G-spot, the prostate.
Right. Located deep inside, produces a deep tingling when aroused, often ignored unless there's a health problem. Stimulation can happen via perineum pressure or anal insertion.
Okay, maps acquired. Now, becoming the best lover starts with massage.
Yes, the art of massage. And they make a poignant point about touch in long-term relationships.
How so?
They can become really limited, right? Either purely functional, like a quick peck goodbye, or only happening as a direct prelude to sex.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Losing the everyday affection.
Exactly. Gordon Inkelis notes most adults haven't been touched behind the knee or between the toes since childhood. We can become sort of touch-starved.
So massage helps counter that.
Big time. It induces relaxation, melts stress, which is a much better way to get ready for intimacy than using sex as the stress reliever. And sensual massage is affection, exploring, finding what feels good without an agenda.
How do they suggest doing it?
Find a quiet space, don't worry about time. Use warm oil, safflower, coconut, even cornstarch can work for a silky feel.
Any key techniques?
Martha Brown's tip is golden. People tend to massage how they like to be touched, so you have to ask for feedback. How's the pressure? Inkelis warns that pain ruins it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Where to focus?
Tension spots.
Your face?
Forehead, jaw, temples, feet, neck, shoulders, especially for women, small of the back,
Yeah.
often for men. Also, sensitive thin-skinned areas like ankles, inner arms, neck
And vibrators.
can add spice.
Yeah.
Such as strapping one gently to the back of your hand.
They also mention its use in therapy.
Yeah, sensate focus. It's non-demand pleasuring, taking turns caressing, naked, quiet space, no pressure for orgasm or even reciprocation, just focusing on sensation. Great for reconnecting.
Powerful stuff. Next up, sexual etiquette, like Miss Manners for the bedroom.
Kind of. They offer sexual decency guidelines. Starts with the golden rule.
Treat your partner as you want to be treated. Basic respect.
Exactly, and that includes making yourself desirable, hygiene, appearance. It's not fair to expect desire if you don't put in some effort.
True. What else? Communication.
Ask for what you want directly, respectfully. Here's what to do, not blaming. And help your partner feel safe doing the same. Absolutely critical, not just for first dates, but always, even in marriage. And respecting it, no bullying, no blackmail. Maybe ask again later, kindly, but respect the boundary now.
Respecting nakedness.
Yes, both physical and, as Dr. Cotter says, spiritual vulnerability. Being comfortable with bodily functions, honoring privacy.
And saying thank you.
Simple but important,
Yeah.
verbally or non-verbally. Acknowledging the shared experience.
Keeping some things secret.
Yeah, those intimate sounds or words during orgasm, the bird song at morning. Maybe keep those just between you.
And Dr. Cotter's 3 rules for intercourse.
These are really interesting. 1, women first let her orgasm first, however it happens. It's physiology, refractory period versus multiple orgasms, and build confidence.
Okay. Rule 2.
She decides when penetration happens, not just based on wetness, but her genuine readiness.
And 3.
Woman guides the penis during penetration, ensures her comfort, angle, maximizes her pleasure, can even use a semi-erect penis as a dildo initially.
Those are quite woman-centric rules.
They are. They address common issues and acknowledge Dr. Masters' point that women often have a greater sexual capacity. It's about fostering mutual pleasure through respect and communication.
Makes sense. Okay, on to the action. Hottest positions and delivering a kiss. Where do they start with positions?
They encourage experimenting, finding mutual favorites, reference the Kama Sutra, but they highlight a few.
Like,
Cozy and intimate, a modified side-lying missionary, great for afterglow, less weight, more closeness.
okay. And for maximum results?
Another modified missionary from Barbara Kiesling. Woman on back, pillow underneath, legs raised and bent. Man on knees between her legs, allows for control, engaging PC muscles.
What about woman on top?
Big endorsement here from Dr. Cotter. Often better clitoral stimulation, good for longer sessions as her muscles support more weight. Frees his hands. Plus, the visual for him. Good for erection issues or PE too.
Seated positions.
Sifting positions. Less common in the West, maybe less strenuous, might delay ejaculation.
Rear entry.
Has that primal appeal for some. Practical for late pregnancy, allows deep penetration, good for G-spot. Downside is less direct clitoral contact, might need hands.
And specifically for the G-spot.
The G-spot stimulator focuses on angling penetration towards the upper vaginal wall, elevating legs, pillow under back, lifting hips, all variations to help hit that spot. Perry and Lattice explain the mechanics and the desire for pressure during orgasm.
Any historical positions?
Doc Ellars from the Perfumed Garden. Man sits legs straight, woman astride facing him, legs crossed behind his back. She controls movement. Apparently got enthusiastic approval.
And the coital alignment technique, CRDA.
Focuses on sustained penis-clitoris contact. Man is further forward than missionary. Pelvis overrides hers. Short rocking strokes. Pelvises move together. Needs focus, resists speeding up. Can lead to more frequent intense orgasms, even simultaneous ones.
Sounds intricate.
One more. The X position from Alex Comfort. For prolonged, slow sex. Start seated facing, then both lie back. Head strokes between partners' legs. Clasped hands. Slow wriggling. Takes time to get into.
Lots of options. But before all that, kissing.
Shut up and kiss me, you fool! Absolutely essential. Take time at the lips, soft bites, licks, touching corners.
An open mouth.
Gently but firmly. Play with tongues. Don't go too deep too fast. Move jaw side to side. Really focus only on her mouth. Look in her eyes or close yours.
Very intensity.
Yeah, build it up. And careful with left bites on the neck, gentle suction. Avoid leaving marks unless that's agreed upon.
Good advice. Kissing is fundamental.
Okay,
Bringing it all together, becoming a master.
right. They start with the blooming lotus from the Anangaranga, linking sex and spirituality in the Indian tradition.
What's the position?
Woman on back, hips elevated, knees bent, heels to hips, feet swing out.
Yeah.
There's a reverse version on her stomach too.
Correct.
One variation was called Attack of the Tiger.
Evocative name. Then they shift gears.
To take it easy.
Hmm.
Bernie Zolbergeld's advice.
Oh.
Slow down intercourse,
Correct.
gradual penetration, pause before moving,
Yeah.
enjoy the beginning.
Makes sense. Not rushing to the finish line. Then best sex ever.
Yeah, they start by joking about the lack of sex workshops compared to, say, golf lessons. People often overestimate their skills. Then they hit hard on talking during sex.
Talking while doing it.
Absolutely. Based on workshops, manuals, field testing, rated X. They say the tongue's second role after kissing licking is talking. Even the Kama Sutra said you need to talk to win a woman over.
So what should you say?
Share sensations, excitement. That feels incredible. Hearing your partner enjoy it helps you relax. Silence can feel alienating. Talking builds intimacy. Doesn't have to be poetry, just acknowledgement.
And making her feel beautiful.
Crucial. Addresses common insecurities that kill desire. Compliments boost sexiness and willingness. Feeling unattended to can lead to bad sex.
Don't be afraid to make noise.
Right. Grunts, sighs, it's part of the light and sound show, as Dr. Zussman puts it. It's feedback.
What about asking for what you want?
Huge point. People often don't communicate desires. Women dislike the generic, everything's great. Men often fear their desires are kinky. A survey showed 43% of men don't share.
So how do you start?
Ask questions. Share your fantasies. Gently. Vulnerability encourages openness. Discover new things about each other.
Let her strut her stuff.
Dr. Schnurch's idea. Women might hold back if they think you can't handle their full eroticism. Let her know you're open. You might be surprised.
Don't try to know it all.
Yeah, focus on your partner, what she likes. Technique follows attention.
Open your eyes. Find a new love nest. Be spontaneous.
All good tips. Eye contact boosts intimacy. Novelty, kitchen, closet, hotel boosts desire. And quickies are okay. Women enjoy spontaneity too.
What about creativity and fantasies?
It's wholly normal, healthy even. Lack of fantasy can link to low desire. Don't feel guilty. The mind is an erogenous zone. Fantasies aren't actions. They often don't even involve the current partner. Just mind-wandering, not infidelity.
Use toys and games. Plan adventures.
Yeah, things like an enchanted evening game can spark conversation. And planned spontaneity, getting away from routine, can reignite passion.
Okay, almost there. Small but delightful details. Quick hits.
Shaving women often prefer smooth skin. Compliments always good. Extended foreplay oral sex increases pheromones, arousal. Ask about dreams, reveals longings. Share your thoughts, fantasies. Build connection.
Excitement, confusion. Like roller coasters.
Yeah, or scary movies can sometimes misattribute arousal. Music soft, classical. Say nice things, even white lies sometimes. Shower together, intimacy, erotic potential.
Mimic mammals.
Nuzzling, nibbling, licking, soft biting. Lightest touch is key. Be twice as gentle as you think. Don't touch her as hard as you like.
Delay tactics in foreplay, thrusting patterns.
Tease before climax.
Yeah.
Gradual approach. Slow build-up and thrusting. The 9 shallow, 1 deep pattern is mentioned for potentially quicker female orgasm.
Props. Diet, ejaculation.
Fruits, ice, feathers for fun. Fruit might sweeten seminal fluid. Acidic spicy might make it sour. Missionary position at the end uses gravity for ejaculation.
Wow, lots of little things. Finally, the aftermath. Don't just roll over.
Please don't. Don't skip dessert post-intercourse intimacy. So important. Dr. Cotter says men might want a report card, but women often value the hugging, kissing, closeness most. Sometimes the sex is for the afterglow.
So men need to be more sensitive to that.
Definitely. That sweet, intimate afterglow. Nailing that makes future encounters much more likely and desired.
So wrapping this deep dive up, Sexpertise really shows that total satisfaction isn't just one thing, is it?
Not at all. It's this whole package. Physical prep, skillful seduction, respect, communication, attention to detail. All geared towards mutual pleasure.
And the key takeaway is that it's learnable. You can become more knowledgeable, more skilled. It's not some fixed talent.
Exactly. It's about taking the initiative to understand yourself and your partner better across all these areas we've touched on.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening, thinking about all this, which forgotten frontier of touch or maybe communication feels like something you could explore next with your partner.
Yeah, maybe try one of those stretches, suggest a new position, or just commit to asking what really feels good for you. It's about that ongoing discovery.
And hopefully a very pleasurable journey of discovery at that.